Next section of this is going to be the load and the catch. I can't say that it's the most important, but it's definitely a predicate movement for the butterfly sweep, is being able to load your opponent. So loading your opponent means we're loading them on the elevator, essentially bringing them forward onto us, okay? And then the next phase of it's going to be catching the post. We'll talk about catching the post here in just a second. Now we talked in an earlier lesson about grips, whether it be at the belt, around the side, or if we're over the back and we have the belt. We also talked about going under the arm for a collar grip, which is essentially the same as getting a belt over the back. Okay, so what we're looking at now is our load. We're going to talk about how we load people. It's a little bit easier to load somebody with a grip over the back. And we'll talk about head orientation and position here in the next lesson. But for right now, just understand, we can load them whether it be under the back or under the arm and over the back, okay? So I wanted to demonstrate the hardest one right now because it seems to be the hardest to understand. The load would come from right here when we're sitting in butterfly, okay? And I'm gonna catch this post, which we'll talk about here in just a moment, or like we can say the post is floating and it's fixing to go down. What I wanna do is I wanna have my hand and my foot work together to load my opponent. I wanna bring my knee as close to my chest as I possibly can. I don't want to have my leg way out here because I can't really elevate effectively with my leg way out. So once I get up underneath coach here, I'm going to have my hand super tight and I'm going to have my foot work its way up to my chest. So as I go back, I'm loading her up and over the top of me. She's not out here where my leg can be just knocked down with her hip. If she decides to do a hip switch really hard and bring this bottom side hip through, she's just going to pile my leg to the mat. How that would look is if I got too long on my attempt, my leg is way out here and she hip switches, and then now she puts me in a knee cut position and she passes my guard like that. It takes 5 seconds. But if I get my leg up and over the top, not extended out over here and long, I can hit this sweep. So I want to load. I'm going to pull her back and I'm going to load her up, bringing my knee as close to my chest as I possibly can, and I'm pulling up on the belt. So first thing that we can do as a drill for coaches, we just simply want to have them catch the hand, then we're going to make them pull back from a seated position. They're going to switch the leg and they're going to load them up on top of them. We'll do that from the belt grip, load. Then we'll do it from an over the back grip. And what's going to happen here is all these athletes are going to see that it's much easier to do over the back because we can lift their bottom end a little bit easier. So from here, load. Notice how she ends up having to post with her head. Reason she has to post with her head is because her hand is already out. She has no additional post. The head has to go a little bit farther in post. So from here, load, up, and back down. Catching the post is the next thing we're going to talk about. This is probably the most important aspect of this. Catching the post means we're simply going to catch their hand so that they can't continue to place their hand as a post. Think of it like the 4 legs on a table. If you lift up a table on one end and the post is still down, it's got some relative stability. You go and you smack that leg out from underneath it, what happens? It tends to want to go over. Now the problem here is when all the weight gets put on the post, it's very difficult to maneuver that post or move it because all the weight's on it, the hand doesn't want to slide. So here, as they come down and the post gets put on the mat, we understand that it's going to get deployed. They're going to make it to the floor. It's very hard to keep them from making it to the floor. What we're going to do here, we're going to lift them up such so that the hand becomes really light. Like right here, it's fixed. There's a lot of weight on her hand. She's pushing back that direction. As I load and pull her up, I'm going to lift and I'm going to pull her post out from underneath her. When I lift her up, at a certain point, the post becomes light and we're just going to pull it out from underneath them and take them over. We're in effect trying to take their post and drive it down across their body or between their legs. Now they wind up having to use their leg to post. So what Coach Reagan's going to do out here is she's going to kick her left leg way wide. Okay. So now she'll only have a hand ahead and her left foot. If I still take this hand with this sleeve and I start hitting my reset hop, 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 driving myself closer, my body closer to her hand, I can in effect take the weight off of that hand and shove the hand down between her legs. So how this looks is as I go to hit my sweep, I'm up on my legs, she's loaded. Now her hand may be far out, place it, she grabs, I hop, hop, take the weight out, and over she goes. So what we're looking at doing is loading them up. Now she's got the post. I'm gonna load and pull her post out from underneath her, and over she goes. We'll talk about head orientation in the next video, which is absolutely kind of trailer to this. It goes right along with it, whether the head is up or down. For now, hit these reps over and over and over.